Welcome to the channel, guys. So as you know that Manpreet works full-time in Canada and I'm on a contract job in Canada. So it's been more than 2 years that we have been working in Canada, and I have experience of working on a contract job. She has experience on working on full-time job. It is the right time that we make a video about difference between a contract job and a full-time job in Canada. So watch the video till the end. Before we start with the video, if you're coming for the first time, do not forget to press the subscribe button because we post a lot of videos about Canada immigration. So if you are interested to know more about Canada immigration, press the bell icon. Let's continue with the video. So let's talk about first category, which is compensation, the main part. So a lot of people move to contract job for a better pay, and it is for sure better than the full-time job. She's on full-time job and she can understand why monthly take home is very less compared to what I get, because on a contract job they don't provide you a lot of benefits, which we will talk about in second category. But the compensation in a contract job will always better because there are some downsides of it. We will discuss about it. In a contract job, you have flexibility to work on multiple contracts at the same time. Let's say you have a contract in which you have to work for 8 hours. So for every hour you will get some amount, let's say $50 per hour or $80 per hour. And along with that 8 hours of contract, you can pick any other contract for 2 hours, 4 hours, which will be a part-time job, and that adds a lot of monthly intake home in your salary. So that is one flexibility in a contract job. In a full-time job,
I don't think so.
yeah, she can't do it.
Most of the companies don't allow it, but if your company does, you should check with your HR department.
Yeah, similarly in case of contract as well, there are some company which add a clause in the agreement that once you sign the contract with one of the company, you will not be able to take any other contract. So always check your agreement in terms of contract, and in terms of full-time job, check with your HR department. Now comes the second category, which is benefit, and that is one of the reason why the compensation is high on a contract job. So on a contract job, I don't get any benefits, like I don't get any paid leaves, I don't get any bonus, I don't get any health benefits, and I don't get any retirement benefit. So that is one of the reason why companies save on these costs and pay that extra money to a contract employee. That is one of the reasons. There will be other reasons as well. But in case of full-time job,
in full-time jobs, you get a lot of benefits. You get a lot of healthcare benefits, especially in Canada when you know that the cost of dental care or maybe vision care is a lot. So you get those benefits covered with your firm. So that is really great. And when it comes to leaves, you have like really great leave policies in most of the companies. So you can enjoy those. But in our case, like since he's contractor and I'm on full-time, we both have to go to places together. So I can't really take my leaves and go alone. I wish that was the case.
so that's a downside of contract. So once she gets leaves, she gets forced leaves as well. So during this quarantine, she was forced to get some 5 or 6 leave, and as a contractor, whenever you take a leave, you don't get paid for that day. So it will not be a paid leave. I'm like losing some money when I'm taking leaves. So this is a downside. Whenever your spouse is on full-time job, she's getting a leave and you need to plan a vacation, you will have to take that hit. Another thing which we mention in most of our videos, like she's getting the health benefit, and in those benefits I'm covered. So I'm getting the health benefit from her company policy. So that way I don't have to be worried about that. That is one of the reason why we ask you, if you are 2 people in the house, one should go on a contract job, one should go on a full-time job. Obviously there will be a risk in the contract job. That is why one person should get a stable income. Also in contract, I don't get another perks which she gets, gym membership, discount, bonus. So I don't get that. That's a downside. Now comes the third category, which is job security. So where there are some benefits in a contract job, there are some downsides as well. One, we already mentioned that you don't get any benefit. Second is job security is not there in a contract job. Nowadays, job security is not there in full-time job as well, but it is worse in a contract role. If layoffs will happen in many of the companies, sorry to say, but the contractor gets layoff before any full-time employee. So I am a contractor, but this is a harsh reality. You have to be mentally very strong. Whenever there will be a layoff, obviously there will be a sword hanging on your head.
I would say in full-time jobs as well, like as he said that there's still not a lot of job security, but when they tell you to leave, they normally give you a severance package so that you can survive for 1 or 2 months, and in the meantime you can search for a job. So obviously, like, no job is secure anywhere. There's a lot of competition, so you always have to be on your toes.
Yeah, but job security is more in a full-time job. If you can get very anxious, if you don't have a job or your contract is ending, you will be stressed, then contract job is not for you. If you can be very mentally strong, you can be very confident that doesn't matter what happens, you have all these skills, and even if the contract gets end, you will find another contract or you will find any other full-time job. So while we are talking about the skill, let me introduce you to the Skillshare application, which I already talked about in my previous video, which helped a lot of people. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. You can explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. It offers creative classes designed for real life and all circumstances that come with it. For limited time, use the link in my description to get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership that's specially for Canada Couple subscribers. You want to go for digital marketing, you want to go for agile because there are a lot of jobs in demand for agile. You can go for a product management, you can go for a project management training. So there are thousands of trainings. There is no ads, so it will be worth your time. So it is an amazing opportunity. You're sitting at home, add one of the skill in your resume that will help you to find a job. Do check that out. So next category, which is self-motivation. So in terms of contracting, you don't feel very attached to the company, and leaders will not be as attached as they will be to the full-time. It depends on company to company. I have seen a lot of leaders get attached and they value the contractors as much as they value the full-time employees. But doesn't matter what happens, there will be few meetings which they will not be able to involve you because of the confidentiality, and there will be few parties which you will not be invited. So there are few things which happens which can get you demotivated if you're working as a contractor in a company. So you have to be self-motivated. There will not be any trainings that will be given to you. There will be trainings for the full-time employees. In few companies it happens that they send the contractors for on-site visits and seminars and online trainings as well, classroom trainings as well. But as I mentioned, that you have to be very, very self-motivated, and at the same time you have to perform better than others. You have to be on your toes. You have to perform at 100% because as I mentioned, job security is not there. So you need to make sure when they think about extending the contract, they think about you instead of any other person, or they go out in the market and hire someone else. Those are some downsides of contracting, but on the other hand, you get some extra money for that.
Now let's talk about professional development. If we talk about self-motivation in a full-time job, I think I am really blessed to be working with a company that takes care of employees to a great extent. You are invited to a lot of parties, you are invited to a lot of networking events. Even if you want to do some certifications, your company is there to help you with that, and they will reimburse the amount to you. So that is really, really great. So I would any day prefer a full-time job over a contract job because I cannot handle stress.
And I think in terms of maternity benefit, it is better for girls to have a full-time job because they can get paid leaves, maternity leaves. In contract job, they will not get anything, right? So I think that's a positive point in full-time job for girls. Now let's talk about mortgage. Whenever you plan to buy a house and go to a bank for mortgage, they ask you whether you're full-time or contract. So it plays a very important role. If you're working full-time and your household income is good, then it is very easy to get a mortgage. Otherwise, if you're on a contract and you're not doing contract more than 2 years, it is very difficult to get your mortgage. So when we bought house, I was on a full-time job, she was on a full-time job. We did not find any difficulties getting the mortgage. While you're deciding whether you should go on a contract or your wife is going on a full-time job, make sure that you are planning to buy a house or not. If you're planning to buy a house, make sure that you are not on contract, or even if you're going on a contract, then check with your bank whether your mortgage will be approved or not. Now let's talk about the number of openings that you have for a contract job or a full-time job. As you know that we have mentioned, for a contract job, it is not a foundation for a company to keep you longer, or when they fire you, they have to give you severance package. It is not a foundation. So they open a lot of contract job initially. The reason is, one is they have a very small project, let's say for 3 months or 6 months. Other reason can be, which most of company do in Canada, is they hire one person on a contract for 3 months and 6 months months role and they test his or her capabilities, then they decide whether they want to convert that person from a contract to full-time role or not. So this is the trend that we have been seeing in past 2 years, and this gives you a very big opportunity to work with very big firms. So let's say if Google is opening a position which is full-time position and you are applying for it, that will be very difficult to get role in Google. And if you're working on contract, it is very easy to get into very big companies, and after 3 months, after outperforming for 3 months or 6 months in that project, there are chances that you can get into a full-time role in a big firm like Google or Facebook. So the crux is, if you want to work with big companies, by doing short contracts with them will increase your chances to get into a full-time role in such big companies like Microsoft and Google.
So generally big companies open these contract positions during their peak seasons or maybe a seasonal work that happens in the company. So they hire a person on contract for a specific term. And another reason to open a lot of contract jobs is that maybe there's a key person in the team who is on a mat leave, or maybe the person is on a long leave due to some reasons. So they would like to replace that person for a time being, and the opening can be fulfilled by a contract. So that is the reason you see a lot of contract jobs as compared to full-time jobs. In our company as well, we see a lot of contract jobs for a seasonal work. So that happens everywhere. So the conclusion is, go for a full-time job. If you want to have a stable job, you have a lot of dependents who need healthcare or other benefits, and you need to grow in a firm that really values you.
And go on a contract job if you have the entrepreneurial mindset. You can be self-employed and you are very confident on your skills that even if your contract will end in 3 months or 6 months, you will again find another contract because you have all the skill sets which takes to get another contract in the same technology or maybe different technology. And another reason is, if you want to try new sectors, you have been working on a full-time job, you want to test 3 months or 6 months contract in a new technology, new domain. So that's another reason why you should go on a contract. So that was all the information about contract and full-time job. We hope that it was helpful to you. Do not leave without liking the video, and let us know in the comment section what was the best part. If you have any question, if you love watching vlogs, we have a vlogging channel in Hindi. We put down English subtitles as well, so you can check that channel as well. And for Canada immigration related videos, you can subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. Till next time,
Stay safe
and stick around.